Hey there, this is Bobby from Payitoff, and today I want to show you Mark for Refinancing, which is a new tool we just introduced. So let's get into it. Gary here is an example client. He has a couple unsubsidized loans and one subsidized loan from Navient. And what we see here is a little module that's popping up saying that we have one or more of these loans which are ideal candidates for refinancing based on all the parameters that we put in. So if we activate this, what we'll see is one of these loans has been suggested as a refinanceable loan. Now, if we want to change that, that's totally up to us. These are just suggestions that are coming back based on the information put in. In our case, we saw, oh wow, there is this unsubsidized loan. It's got a 7% interest rate. That's rather high. And unsubsidized loans don't really give us good protections in deferment since the interest isn't being paid by the government. So, that looks like a pretty good one for refinancing. We also have a refinancing terms section here. So this is where we can put in values that we get back from SoFi or Credible or any other refinancers. So if we get an offer from them, say it's 3.1% and it's a 5-year note, we can throw that in here and then pick which of these loans we would want to be refinanced. So say we don't really worry too much about the subsidized loan and we want to try out, refinancing a couple of these. There's one down here that's 4.5, and let's not put all of our loans in right away, but we can compare and contrast each of these scenarios using this tool now. Down here, this is all the same as before. So nothing has changed in terms of being able to add in an extra monthly payment. When the total monthly spend right now is just the monthly spend up here plus the prepayment. We'll get into the refinancing monthly payment in a second. So let's generate a report. So the data here looks pretty much the same, except we've added on a new layer of refinancing plus prepayment. So if we look at the balance over time chart, you'll notice that we still have the prepayment and the current versus the current schedule, but now we also have prepayment and refinancing. So you'll see here, there's a big difference in the debt-free date. I think it's about 2.5 years of a difference, and a big difference in interest savings, more than double in interest savings with this refinancing option included. So that's a pretty profound impact and one worth discussing with your client when you're walking through this. In terms of a refinancing impact, this is a totally new section that's been added. It'll only show up if you're comparing the refinancing. So you can go in and see the refinancing details. We can see here, the same way we did in the plan details page, how the payments shake out over time. So it looks pretty similar at first to sort of the debt stacking that we're used to seeing in the plan details, but now it uses the refinance version of the loans. So you can see it here, all those 3.1% loans, and their monthly spends have changed based on the 5-year term that we dictated before. So another interesting thing to note and to keep track of is how the monthly payment has changed. So if you look here, you'll see that the monthly payment's gone up like $122. So that's a pretty significant change. I mean, maybe that's an important amount per month that the client wants to use for something else. So we have to sort of go back to the drawing board and see if we can change that out. In our case, we could see what would happen. Oh, well, what if we tried a 7-year note? That should lower the monthly payment for us. So let's compare that. Okay, now we're still seeing some savings in this scenario, but we don't get those extra 2.5 years. So, that's the debt-free date is not too different anymore, but our interest savings still is. So it is worth weighing this option. At the same time, my monthly payment's gone down. So that may sound good in the immediate term, but when you're stacking debt, in the long run, you actually have less to stack against. So what I mean by that is that as you go through and pay each month, once loans are defeated and you have a lower monthly spend across the board, you have less power of stacking over time. That monthly payment is less over time, and you start to lose a little momentum. Um, so in this case, for instance, we're not seeing too bad of an effect of that. This is actually looking pretty good. Um, but if you were to, say, really extend those terms, let's make it 10 years, then you're seeing that, oh, wow, that's actually worse in some cases. We have a lot of interest savings, but we have a really low monthly payment, and we're not getting anything out of our prepaying. So it is important to sort of weigh these options when you're talking with your client. So we're really excited that we got to show you this. I am very open to feedback and would love to hear what you think of this product. So please reply to either an email or shoot me an email at bobby@payitoff.io. And I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this new feature that we just introduced today. I think it's really going to help when making decisions about what to do in certain scenarios with your clients when it comes to working with refinancers. So thanks so much. Hope you have a great day.